Hi, welcome in. It's Shaped by Kate. Continuing our 30-day yoga series, we'll be doing a yoga flow working through pigeon pose. No props are needed. Let's start on our backs on our yoga mat. Once you get down onto your backs, keep the soles of the feet on the earth, knees generously bent, and sway those knees from left to right. Arms resting by your side, on your belly, or in a T position. Pigeon pose or kapotasana is one of the more common yoga poses because there's so many variations that you can add into a flow or just modify according to someone's needs. Alright, once those knees sway to the right, let's hold that there. Think about pressing the left knee towards the mat, opening up the thigh. If you can't feel that stretch and want a deeper position, lift the right foot and set the foot just above the left knee, finding a little figure four. You can gently press that down. That opens the thigh, hip, and core. Adding more, inhale, reach the arms above your head, catch hold of the left wrist, pulling the wrist up and to the right. Breathing into that whole left side body. If that weight of your foot gets too heavy, just undo the foot back onto the ground. Breathing in through the nose. Breathe out. Come back to center. Sway the knees a little bit from the left to right before we head to the other side. Knees now swaying to the left, right knee now driving towards the earth. Add in that figure four, pick up the left foot, place it just above the knee. Breathe in, reach your arms above your head, catching hold of the right wrist. Lift it up and to the left. Fully opening everything from the right knee, your thigh, hips, and core, all the way up to your armpit, tricep, and fingertips. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale out the nose or mouth. Find center, heel toe the feet together. Bring the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to drop to the outer edges of your mat. Finding supine butterfly pose or Supta Baddha Konasana. Since we don't have props, if this is too much, you're just going to lift the knees gently and actively hold, still activating the inner thighs. If you can hold this pose though, let gravity drop the knees to the outer edges of your mat. Then naturally deepen your breath in this pose, moving your diaphragm, intercostals, and deep core muscles. Next pose, bring the knees together, heel toe the feet to be hip width distance apart. Let's first lengthen the right leg to the sky, pointing and flexing the foot. When you're ready, find figure four. Bend the right knee and place your ankle just above the left knee. Hug in the figure four, with or without your arms. Melting the head and shoulders and back into your yoga mat. If there's a need for more activation in figure four, press the right knee away from you while still hugging in the figure four. This little pushing and pulling motion will give you more activation in your right hip. Another name for figure four is supine pigeon pose. Now let's keep that shin perpendicular to the body, right hand to the knee, left hand to your right foot. With that left leg, drop the foot down and extend the leg in front of you. Then start to just draw that right heel towards your left hip, bending the knee a little bit more. Point the toes, and then start to hug that knee close to your sternum. Using your palms, wrap them around the outer edge of that right leg. Hug it close to your belly. Finding a little bit more of a traditional pigeon pose, but still on our backs. A gentle variation of pigeon. Let's move on to the other side. Lengthen the legs. Rebend the knees. Lengthen the left leg. And then find figure four. Hug it in close to your belly. Remembering not to hold the head and shoulders in a crunch. Melt them into the earth. Feel a nice deep stretch. This is figure four or pigeon pose. Pigeon pose draws your center and your focus inward, so this can help deepen your focus and relieve stress, since we tend to keep stress in our hips. Continue that practice of deep breathing. No expectation of having a certain pattern, just deep inhales and exhales. Finding the more traditional looking pigeon pose, catch hold of the foot and knee, and then scoot or slide that right knee away from you, lengthening your leg towards the edge of your yoga mat. Start to hug the knee and shin bone towards your belly. Point the left toes, placing that foot towards your right hip flexor. Wrap hands around the outer edge of the left leg, hugging that knee towards your sternum. Another option is just to keep the hands on the knee and foot. Breathe and activate the palms against your leg hugs back. If the right leg lengthened is too much, you can always bend the knee again, finding more space in your pigeon pose. Find one last round of breath in supine pigeon. When you're ready, lengthen the legs, shake them out, hug the knees together, and come up into your tabletop pose, taking a break from being on our spine. Start moving that spine in cat-cow. Now finally adding more movement to our practice. Listen to your body, add any extra movements like shifting forward or shifting back. Our next few poses will be done on our knees, so if you need to roll up your yoga mat or grab a towel, go ahead and make those changes. If your mat is already ready, find one more round of cat-cow, meeting me in neutral tabletop. Align your tabletop and start to shift weight to your palms and right knee. Inhale, lengthen the left leg behind you. Single leg tabletop. Externally rotate those left toes, bend the knee, and sweep the arch of your foot as high along your yoga mat as you're able. Arch of the foot is just behind the heel of the hand. If you don't already feel this stretch in your hips, point the tailbone directly behind you, then shift the hips back, allowing more space to walk your hands forward like you're in a child's pose. Remember this pose when you need something to relieve tension in your lower back, upper glutes, or sciatica nerves. I definitely tend to have tight piriformis muscles, so if you can move that foot closer to your hands, you can do that and not follow me. Alright, shift those hips back, unwind that left leg gently, then setting it back in tabletop. Now shift weight to the left side, inhale, lengthen the right leg, externally rotate the toes, and then slide that arch of the foot towards the back heel of your hand. Noticing already that foot can reach a lot higher than my opposite leg. Shift the hips back, walk the palms forward, pointing the tailbone slightly up. Don't forget about your breath. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out the mouth or nose. Come back to tabletop. Moving away from the knees, meet me in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. As you start to come into more familiar poses, add more freedom to those poses, movement or stillness. Taking about 5 rounds of breathing. Alright, shift weight to that right foot and your palms. Keep the left leg straight as you lift the foot off the ground and take a step forward. Same thing with the right. Little lift and step forward, bending the knees if needed. Keep the hips high and the head low, eventually taking those small steps to forward fold Uttanasana. One breath in, lifting the tailbone. Exhale, belly hugs to thighs. Inhale, slow rolling up to mountain pose Tadasana. Settling into mountain pose, roll the shoulders back, palms open forward. Finding our first balance pose, inhale, lift the left leg, single leg mountain pose, bringing attention to where your knee is at. It can be parallel to your hip, or it can be lower or higher, depending on how that feels for your hip flexor. Keep the knee at a fixed point and sway your shin bone from left to right. Finding a lateral and medial flexion with our knee joint. We tend not to do this movement with our knee. This is also helping that hip joint. You should feel it on the outer and inner edges of those muscles. Good, now go ahead and set that foot down. Switch to the other side. Inhale, hug in the right knee just as high as you're able. Find that fixed point. Sway your shin bone from left to right. Finding a few repetitions. Beautiful. Set your foot down, find normal mountain pose. Let's find a salutation with pigeon pose. Tuck your chin, find Uttanasana. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step into plank. Find your variation. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lower. Inhale, open heart. If you know me, I always like starting with a cobra before upward facing dog. Then counter pose, find Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll be starting with the right leg. If you know how to get into pigeon pose from here, go there. If not, let's come into tabletop and lengthen the right leg behind us, single leg tabletop. Bend the knee, sweep it in between your hands, and slide the shin bone towards the left edge of your mat. Then scoot the left leg back, lifting your chest and gaze, finding pigeon pose. If there's a need for less weight on your right knee, bend the back leg. Breathe in, chest tall. Exhale, hug the legs together without moving them. You should be hugging the legs together so much so that you could lift 1 or 2 hands from the earth. Then next time you breathe out, let's rest our head and bellies on the earth. Finding passive pigeon. That modification of the back bent leg is still an option. Find rest and deep breaths in pigeon pose. Bringing focus to the inner and outer edges of your right hip. Expanding and contracting with your breath. Breathe in, lift the gaze. Gently bring your hands back to the earth, lifting your chest. Shift forward. And unwind from this pose the same way you came in. So if you came from tabletop, come back to tabletop. If you came from downward facing dog, go back there. Then let's find our flow. Shift into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, open heart. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Other side pigeon. If you started from tabletop, drop knees down, uncurl the toes. Inhale, left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee, sweep that knee in between your hands. Slide the shin bone towards the right edge of your mat and slide the right leg towards the back edge of your mat. You know your modifications, head there if you need them. Protect your hips, hug them towards your core, then you can exhale, lower from active pigeon to passive pigeon. Breathe and find rest here. Now think about all our pigeon pose variations and just adding them to your yoga knowledge to bring them into a flow. Whenever a yoga instructor says come into pigeon, you can choose from any of those variations. Beautiful pigeon. Breathe in and breathe out. Then unwind from your pigeon pose. Gently lift the gaze. Lift the chest. Place the hands on the earth. Unwind the same way you came in, reverting back to downward facing dog or tabletop. From those poses, shift into plank. Find that flow again. Phalakasana, Chaturanga Dandasana, Bhujangasana. Maybe transitioning to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Walk, step, or hop. Find Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Roll to Uttanasana, forward fold. Breath filling the body. Roll up, Tadasana. Coming into another balance pose, let's bring hands to hips and lift the right leg off the ground. Let's find standing figure 4 or standing pigeon. Place that ankle just above the left knee and squat down. Use your body as a prop, hands to shins, or hands to something in front of you that's stable. Since we've been doing a lot of pigeon, maybe you can bring forearms to your shin, or even hands to the earth. Sometimes too, it might feel better just to lengthen that left leg rather than sitting in a squat. Completely up to you, decide which one you like better. Breathe and focus, that gaze or dristi just a couple feet in front of the toes. Inhale, rise, unwind from standing pigeon. Let's switch to the other side. Find Tadasana. Inhale, lift the left leg this time. Find your figure 4. Place that ankle just above the knee. Squat down till you feel that stretch. Notice if the side feels a little bit different. It might feel pretty warm since we've been doing all of the pigeon pose variations. Hands come to the earth, forearms come to the shin. Right leg can bend really generously so you can get really low on the earth. Play around with this pose. This pose is yours for the next few rounds of breath. Breathing in for inner focus. Exhaling out to release tension from the hips. Next, to exhale out, unwind from standing pigeon, come back to Tadasana. Last part of our flow, we're going to find that salutation again at a little bit faster pace. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Phalakasana, plank. Inhale, exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Doesn't matter which side. Reach it up to the sky. Open the hip. Then sweep that bent knee towards the front of your mat. Find pigeon pose from three-legged dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Active kapotasana. Exhale, passive pigeon. Arms hug in or reach forward, child's pose arms. Taking a humble stance to find the last pigeon on this side. Slide palms back to underneath the chest. Lift the gaze. Lift the back knee and shin bone. Slide it and sweep it to a three-legged dog. Optional flow again. Set the foot down. Shift into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Open heart pose. Exhale to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Other side, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, come into your last pigeon. Sweep that knee forward. Set the shin bone and thigh bone on the earth, lengthening the back leg behind you. Breathe in active pigeon, and then breathe to passive pigeon. Well done for working through all these pigeons. This is your last kapotasana. Send gratitude towards that good stress in your life that helps motivate you and push you forward. And then as you're exhaling, just letting any of that bad stress leave through the hips. Finding movement with your breath, feeling the spine rise and the belly fall. Beautiful, you know where we're going, so move at your own pace with a little bit more freedom. From pigeon pose, find three-legged dog. From three-legged dog, find your plank. Flow through your chaturanga to open heart to downward facing dog. Finish off this flow or salutation. Step the toes, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rise, mountain pose. In mountain pose, bring palms together at the sternum, heart center. Reflect and remember this practice when you need to de-stress the hips and bring focus to the inner body. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. See you next time on the mat, and please subscribe.